So what happened? I read The Raven Boys, which is the first book in the Raven cycle, which is not a trilogy. There's 4 books. It's a quadrilogy. Yes. Okay, so I read a book by Maggie, and I'm like, this is really good. This is really good. I like your writing. I like your character development. It's really good plot and execution. Everything is wonderful. And then the Scorpio races comes along. Maggie. Girl, we've got to talk. In the Scorpio races, there are these wild horses on the island, but they don't live on the island. They actually live in the sea around the island. They're water horses. So they have gills, they smell like salt. They are carnivorous, so they're eating meat. They're very dangerous. The residents of the island once a year have a race. Not only are the horses racing, but there are actually riders on the horses. The horses would like to eat the riders, so it's very dangerous. It's a dangerous race. Since it is so dangerous, there is a huge incentive. There's lots of money to be won. The book had a lot of problems, but what really made me hate the book, there is a love interest in the book. And what happens throughout the book is she will be watching this stable boy working, and she will be staring at him for a very long time, watching the muscles underneath his shirt work, and telling us, the reader, basically how turned on she is. And then she's like, I have no idea why that's happening. I hate this person, and he's not attractive at all. And then we as the readers are supposed to be, shocked. Oh my god, a revelation, when they realize they like each other at the end of the book. No. That is one of the things that people generally hate about YA books, and why they make fun of them and say that they're not very sophisticated. Because there's really, really obvious love interest like that, and they keep giving us little hints which are actually hitting you over the head with this fact that they like each other, and then you're supposed to barely pick up on the hints or be surprised even, oh dear me. Come on, give us a little bit more credit than that, authors. A 7-year-old can pick up on that sort of extreme love interest hints. It's not, we're smarter than that. Just give us a little bit of credit. Give us a little credit, ooh, just bothers me. I just can't stand that. I can't stand that. Same author that did that wrote The Raven Boys, the quadrilogy. The characters in this book, I just love them all. They're fully fleshed out. They are good and they are bad and they're confusing, and they have internal struggles and conflicts and of who they want to be versus who they are versus what they think they can reasonably accomplish, and their life circumstances, and just it's so rich. It's a very rich, well thought out book. Main character's name is Blue Sargent, and she lives in a house full of psychics and mediums, and she's the only one who does not have psychic powers. She, as you can kind of maybe imagine, she's a little bit quirky and weird. She's too smart for her own good sometimes. She is not a pushover at all. She's excuse you, I know what I'm doing, get out of my way, and I just love her. She's surrounded by all these boys who are prep school boys, more or less. You got Gansey, whose real name is Dick, which I think is funny. Then you got Roland, who is my favorite. And you got Adam and Noah. And they all together are this team, and the quest they're on is the coolest, weirdest quest ever. Gansey is obsessed with this Welsh king named Glendower. And Glendower, the interesting thing about him is he's dead. He's been dead for a long time. But Gansey wants to wake him up. which can be done, he thinks and says, and is on his mission, has been on his mission for a long time. He enlists all of his friends to help him on his crazy mission to find Glendower. Along the way, they find like all these cool magic things that like, so cool, I've never heard of before. It all was very believable and just worked super well. There's like dream magic and like psychic magic and ley line magic and like old magic and just so much, and it fits together very nicely and it's wonderful. Gansey is so likable, it's almost sickening because he pretty much gets whatever he wants. He knows this about himself. He knows he's like well bred and from this family who, you know, comes from money and influence, and he can pretty much have whatever he wants, but he doesn't want to have everything handed to him on a silver platter because he wants to be a normal person and, you know, not be up on his high horse all the time. And he's just a very genuine, sweet, endearing character, even though he does come from this like amazing family with all these opportunities. Favorite character is Roland. He is just such a dick. He is so mean for no reason, and he just comes across as this horrible, like sulking, overly dark character who's like purposefully making himself out to be like sort of hard to approach and like unlikable. But the more you learn about him, the more you learn like why he is the way he is and how sweet he is under the surface, and like why he puts off the front that he does and all the things he's got going on internally. It's just, he's a really, really interesting, really likable character, but it takes like 4 books to get to like him. Noah, I can't really talk about all that much because he's got this huge secret that like is his whole character. So you'll just have to find out about that in the book. But Adam is a little bit of a cliche character. He's very, you know, he grew up in a trailer park. His dad was abusive. He doesn't have a lot of money. So this is where he comes from. But Adam is not happy with that at all. He wants to, you know, have a better life for himself, have a better future. He wants to, you know, do something great and not be stuck in this cycle that his family has been in. They form together this really amazing tight group of friends that, you know, just love each other so much, and they're so fun to read about the dynamics between them all. It's really interesting and nuanced, and all the characters, you know, have things in their past that you slowly learn about, and they really go through a lot of growth. That to me is the point of reading books, is to see the world through all these different characters' points of view, look at how they're looking at the world, look at, you know, their strengths or their weaknesses, or how they use their abilities and their friends to go through challenges. It just is a wonderful series. So the first book, Raven Boys, I would give 4 stars out of 5, only because you don't know the characters very well yet. The magic is just barely, you brush the surface of it. Book number 2, The Dream Thieves, is my favorite probably. I'd give that a 5 stars out of 5. The next book is called Blue Lily, Lily Blue. I would give that 4 stars. It was a little bit slow, but the final book, number 5, called The Raven King, is 5 out of 5. You know, the series as a whole, it's probably one of my favorite young adult series. Seri. It's one of my favorite young adult seri. So, you know, in comparison, the Scorpio races, I give a 1 star out of 5. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people really like that book. I just can't get over certain things in it. It's just, you know, a few of my particular pet peeves when it comes to books and writing were all present in that book. And I never really got into it. I never really, you know, felt for the characters or was really invested in what happened. So, you know, it wasn't for me. If you really liked that book, feel free to hate on me in the comments and tell me I'm wrong and stupid and whatever. That's fine. Maggie is already one of the most well-respected authors out there, So I'm assuming the Scorpio races was just a miss. You know, I'm going to continue to read books by her. I will continue to let you know what I think about them. Also, please let me know in the comments what kinds of things you're interested in me reviewing. I know some of my comic reviews are like wildly popular, like so popular that it like hurts my feelings a little bit because my book reviews don't get any love. But, you know, if you guys like that kind of thing, I do read a fair amount of comics and I can do more of that. It just is more time consuming editing and it's just a little bit more of a pain in the butt, but I can do it if y'all, you know, are interested, I suppose. I read, like, awesome. It blew my mind. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Quadrilogy. The Raven Boys. Oh dear me. No, no, no. Yes.